guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey if it's your first time here. Today let's talk about spiritual tests and temptation, devil energy. I would love to sit here and tell you guys that when you are spiritual, life is just easier. You just have a clear path. But the reality is we're going to be tested, while we're here on earth. And the higher you ascend, the deeper you go on your spiritual walk, you're going to be met at that same level with a test. So for example, if you're unaware and you're just living your life, you may be falling into traps over and over, not even noticing the patterns, blaming the outside world. Why does my life suck? Oh my gosh, I have such bad luck and this and that. But as you start to awaken and you recognize that you're a co-creator of your life, then it's your chance to take accountability over your own life, and we can start to become aware of our own energy, our own choices, and how we can actually be more in control of our life and how it goes. So let's talk about temptation, because this is a very real part of a spiritual journey. We are gonna all face temptation. The crazy thing about the devil, the concept of the devil, is that we've been conditioned that the devil is the problem, that we can blame all of our bad choices and decisions on the devil. And it's like this red guy with the pointy horns. And the way that I like to see the devil, you guys, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I'm just here to share my ideas with you. Okay, the concept of the devil, it's more so an energy. You can see it as evil energy, dense energy, the opposite to good, the opposite to the light, the opposite to righteousness, the opposite to your higher nature, because we're here in a land of polarity. Everything has an opposite. So just like there's good, there's evil. One thing to be aware of when it comes to devil energy, because remember, it's an energy, is that it's very alluring. It's the trickster. It's deception. It's not going to obviously be bad for us, and that's why it's a test. That's why you have to have discernment, and you have to be able to recognize in your life good from evil, like what's really going to serve you in the long run, which is versus a temporary pleasure that's there to fool you, that's there to make you slip, to make you stuck. Okay, so these are real, very real things that you're going to face in your life, because our life is full of choices at every moment that are either going to bring you higher or bring you lower, bring you happiness or bring you sorrow. The choice is ours. But it's important to talk about temptation, because we're going to all face it. No matter what level you're at, you're going to face temptation. And it's not so much that the devil is an entity outside of you. It's within all of us. We all have a dark side. We all have shadows, but we also all have choices, and so depending on what choices you make, that's gonna lead to the consequences, the ripple effect. Something to be aware of is that when it comes to devil energy, it's going to appear so good, so alluring, so tempting, like glitter, like gold, but it's a trick. It's there to fool you. Inside, you know better, but if we do it, then we are just fooling ourselves. Before I go further, I want to share with you guys that from a higher perspective, there's not really good and bad anyways, because even the bad stuff can serve you, and you can gain lessons from any choice you make. So it's not about condemnation. I don't believe in hell, and I don't think that anyone is going to go to hell to burn for eternity. It's more so you staying stuck in negative patterns and cycles in your own life until you free yourself, until you make decisions that are going to have you elevate and ascend higher. And I don't know about you guys, but I believe in reincarnation. It's like you get these chances to be on earth and learn and grow and ascend higher, closer to God, but you have free will, and so if you want to stay in the devil energy, if you want to dance with the devil, you're just stunting your own growth. You're gonna just keep reincarnating until you get it. And a lot of us on earth, a lot of souls are stuck in a karmic loop, meaning that the choices we make have ripple effects. Karma is a real thing, whether we want to believe it or not. It's one of the laws of the universe. For all of your actions, choices, there's going to be consequences. And this is like for us, something for us to be aware of while we're on a spiritual path, you know, because you have a higher calling. You've been awakened, and so now you're more aware, and we can overcome these challenges that we're gonna face. We can overcome these tests. So what do some of them look like? For me, I think about the 7 deadly sins. We're in a world right now where I feel like one of the biggest ones, which they're all prevalent, to be honest, because it's a spiritual war, and a lot of people are not even aware. They don't want to be aware, okay? But one of the biggest ones is lust, okay? It's one of the 7 deadly sins, lust. And we see it all throughout the world. I've been trapped in it myself, and anyone can fall into lust. It's gonna feel so good in the moment, but then it's done. Then it's over with. It's cheap. It's depleting. And that's how you know if something's actually good for your soul, nourishing your soul, is like, is it actually good for you, or is it taking from you? You know, longer than just the moment. It's crazy because how can devil energy present itself to you? Through friends, through other people, through things that you might not recognize in the moment. Let's use something like gambling. Okay, so gambling is a lot of people's vice. It can be tempting, okay, because we're talking about temptation, right? Oh, come to the casino, you can win a whole bunch of money real quick. Okay, but be cautious, you guys. Be aware, be smart out here. Fast money, just like fast love, just like fast food. If it's real fast, be aware, okay? Red flag, because you know, spiritual texts will talk about making rash decisions, moving too fast. Like, something that's real takes time and hard work and earning it, right? And so, for example, gambling, you can be tempted that, oh, you can get a whole bunch of money real fast. All you have to do is hit the slot machine. Boom, you're gonna get some money. But what happens like 97% of the time or whatever? I don't know the statistics, but most likely you're just giving them your money for that thrill of being able to win. But all it takes is for you to fall for this temptation once to mess a whole thing up, you know? And let's say somebody is planning a vacation with their family, and they think to themselves, I have enough money for the vacation, but let me just go to the casino, because if I win tonight, I'm gonna have more money to take care of my family. We can do more activities, whatever the case, right? Boom. They fall into that temptation. They go to the casino and they lose all of the money. All of the money that they were gonna use for the vacation, now they can't go at all. You know, and so our decisions don't just affect us, they can affect everything around you. And you got tricked, you got played, you made a fool of yourself. I'm just giving that as an example of like what can happen when we fall into temptation. It glitters like gold, but it's there to deceive you. And God is the source of all things, right? So brilliant, so perfect and divine. Don't think that the tests are gonna be so easy to spot. Like, they're gonna be presented in a way that's truly gonna test your own soul. But deep down inside, we know right from wrong. Like, our moral code is built within us. I know right from wrong when I tap within, and so do you. So we want to be careful, because you can get addicted to that fleeting satisfaction. It's fleeting, it's quick. It's here one moment, it's gone the next. But when you live from your higher nature and you live from, let's say, love instead of lust, love actually fills your cup. Love actually satisfies you takes care of you, is rooted, is sustainable, is deep. It's of God. You know, so lust is the cheap imitation of love, and it's causes destruction and karma. Like, the results of these choices are nothing to play with in life. You know, you can have one lustful night and pay for it for the rest of your life. And it's not about doomsday, it's about real and raw truths of what it is. Ladies, be so mindful of who you choose to give yourself to, because you are so valuable. And a lot of times women, we want to complain that, oh my gosh, men are so unfaithful and this and that about men, but we have to look in the mirror and look at ourselves and be like, well, am I just laying down with a man who's not even committed to me, who's not even my husband, who has a bunch of girls, or whatever the case, a fling, a situationship? And you are free to do what you want to do. But when we choose lust, we end up paying for it. And I'm here to tell you that those consequences can last a long time. Devil energy promises you happiness, and it promises you freedom. It looks so good, but it's masquerading. It's the trickster. And I keep bringing this up because that's the most important thing to remember. If it looks bad, then how is that a test? We have to use our discernment. Sometimes this requires sacrifice and discipline. Making decisions in your life based on God, based on source, based on your soul. And then there is a reward for you waiting. But when we choose the easy way out, and when we choose to say, oh, well, who cares? It's my life. Like, I'm free to do whatever. Yeah, you are, but it's just that the consequences are real. And temptation is very much part of the spiritual journey. Are you gonna follow your higher self? Are you gonna embody self-love and choose what's in your own best interest? Or are you gonna slip and fall? And if you slip and fall, it's okay. But we just want to be wise on this journey. And so go within, because your soul is going to always lead you in the right direction. There you have a spirit and you have the flesh, right? So a lot of times people like to say, oh, well, it's natural. That's what I naturally want is, for example, a whole bunch of sugar. It's sweet, it's delicious. I want all the cake, candy, cookies too. I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to y'all, everybody, right? So your flesh, of course, that's what it wants. But it tastes good in the moment, but later you're gonna pay for it. Later it's gonna cause dis-ease in the body. It's not good for you, it's not healthy. It looked so shiny. You know how they wrap candy in those shiny packages? They do the commercials, everybody dancing, the music, everyone's having a good time, but it's causing cavities, it's causing gut disruption, it's causing, like, it's not real food. Like, later on there can be huge consequences, cancer, all types of stuff, because we were just living in the moment and we weren't thinking about what's truly in our well-being. And so these spiritual concepts sometimes we can run away from because, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I can't have fun this way. Oh, that makes it boring. YOLO. And it's like, you have to know, no, it's not YOLO. YOLO is you only live once. No, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, you coming back if you can't get it right. And as far as right, I just mean like choosing to make decisions that are going to serve you and serve everyone around you and be in your highest good. Like, it's a soul journey and a soul evolution. The choice is yours. But I just wanted to bring up temptation because it's so real. The other deadly sins, okay, greed. When it comes to money, like never feeling satisfied, you know, it's lustful, it's greedy, because it's like you have some, but you want more, more, more. It cannot be satisfied. Same thing for lust. Like, if you've noticed, if you go down that path, it's gonna be bad for you. The reason why is because you're never going to feel satisfied. So therefore you're falling in the trap over and over. You want more, you want more, you want more, you want more. And that's why it's deceit. That's why it's trickery. That's why you're being fooled. That's why you keep slipping and falling, because it's not really what you think it is. You're not passing the test. You know what I mean? What are the other ones? Pride, wrath. You know, anger is a huge one, and it's a trap, because when you're super angry, nothing good can come from that. You know, it's like, it's okay to feel your emotions, but they're gonna pass. Recognize your emotions, let them pass. But do not act in anger. And I try to teach my 6-year-old this as well. She is a fire sign, and she could have a hot temper, and she could get mad and rip one of her pictures that she made. Her artwork, she's super creative and super talented. And I tell her, Mija, like, once you rip that, that's it. Like, you can tape it, but do not act in anger, because nothing good, like, people have lost their lives over anger. Get out the car, start fighting over a traffic jam, or someone cuts you off, or somebody's messing with the person you like all types of stuff, like husbands and wives going at it. Like, anger, especially if you mix some liquor with it or something like that, like, I've seen some crazy stuff unfold, you know, and it's a deadly sin. Deadly sin. These are nothing to play with, you guys. I'm laughing, but it's deep, this journey that we're on, you know. And so what's another one? Sloth. Like, if you're being too lazy, if you're not wanting to do nothing with your life, it's like you're wasting your life, you know. Is that all of them? The 7 deadly sins: pride, lust, greed, wrath, sloth, gluttony, envy, which is also just super destructive, you know. And so these are things that we want to be aware of, and temptations that we're all going to face on our life path, on our spiritual journey. And they're there just to present you with choices, you know. It's going to test your character, it's going to test your integrity, and we are going to face the results of our choices. You guys, I love to see the positive in everything. And as I've just been diving deep within myself and doing, you know, healing on myself and facing my shadow, my own shadows, I've come to realize that the beauty in contrast, and the beauty in the polarity on earth, you know. And it's like, we can't see what's good without seeing what's bad. And we can't feel the bliss of love without feeling like the sorrow of pain and suffering. That pain and that suffering and those bad choices that we make end up making us appreciate the good so much more. And so never be too hard on yourself. Be gentle with yourself if you're doing shadow work on yourself, if you are facing your own demons, but also take accountability, you know, because that's how we really can grow. Spiritual growth is when we can be honest with ourselves and own up to our own mistakes, our own shortcomings, and cleanse ourselves and choose to live from our higher nature, embody our higher self. There's always a reward. God and the universe is just so good in that way, and is seeing your efforts and will bless them. I promise you that. And you'll always be taken care of, you know, like, we'll always return to love no matter what. And there's always forgiveness, you know. And so, like, forgive yourself, forgive others. But when you make better decisions in your life, you're gonna feel better outcomes emerge. The greatest thing is just like peace, getting to a place of peace, because we are undergoing a war within ourselves, every single soul here, right? So how they say you have the devil on your shoulder and an angel on your shoulder. They're both in your ear. What are you gonna choose? You know, the choice is yours. And so when we learn to master ourselves, like, that is the most liberating feeling. Now you're really free. Now you're really in a high vibration, when you can take control of your own self. Definitely making choices that are separate from the world, because the world is on a downward spiral. So it's like, you gotta pluck yourself out of there to go up higher. Okay, so drop me a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. You know, let me know what you face in your life, like what tempts you spiritually. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Like, let's talk about it. Be here for one another. I'm sending you so much love and so much power and so much healing on your journey. And to take care of yourself. I'll see you in my next video.